Hello, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson. I'm channeling the man in the moon. Just going to bring my microphone here for a moment. This is going to be a political reading, and it's going to all be about the election. So I do want to see a bunch of things. I wrote them down in my little book here because I really think that Kamala's going to win, but there are some details. By the way, go out and vote. Even if you know she's going to win, vote. We need all the votes we can because there will be a big margin, 5% that the left has to win, or we will not take the presidency, not to mention the Senate. We need a majority in the Senate to change the way things are. Please vote. The first question here is how will the vote go, and will there be violence? I'm also going to ask about voter intimidation and suppression and how the media will manipulate the answers. Also, which states will be in jeopardy. Let's start with how will the how will the vote go, and will there be violence? So, kind of interesting image. The universe is sort of coming down to meet me, and I'm not seeing scenes of violence. I'm seeing one person, and it's a woman. Oh, I know that there's this woman now. I don't know her name. But she's kind of manipulating Trump. She's totally nuts. Total conspiracy theorist nut job. And look, I didn't even think of this. This is really leading Trump astray. He believes the things that she says. One problem with conspiracy theories is, people start to believe them. And when that happens, that's this is playing a more significant role than people realize. And she's attractive, so of course Trump listens to her because that's what manipulates Donald Trump. Let's see. And she is kind of planning something, and it is she stands as like one of those psycho smiles as she's manipulating things. She's going like this, going like that, moving things around, still smiling. So this woman is actually sort of at the center of these plans that do have something to do with manipulating the outcome of the vote. So I'm getting a little specific here. What's she gonna do? She keeps showing Trump ways to present that the vote's not fair or that the numbers are being manipulated. She keeps going, oh, let's frame it like this. Let's frame it like this. She's throwing anything that she can at the wall. She'll throw any story, including the, minorities are drinking dogs and cats story. She'll manipulate that for herself too, or for him. This woman's very, very dark in the sense that she doesn't care how many people are harmed. She doesn't care who's killed. She's really a sociopath in the sense of, being a more active sociopath than Donald Trump. So is there going to be violence? I see people who are surprised by what's happening. What she does, she cultivates in secret. There will be some attempts to create havoc. They are not certain to happen. That is, it may be that this the Justice Department, the FBI are wise to some of these things. I think that there is some kind of violence that is not directly prepared by Trump and this woman, but by sort of encouraged behind the scenes. It's not clear, but it looks like that they will be apprehended and caught. Because this woman's looking frustrated, and Trump's going, oh, no, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, trying to pretend that he didn't. So just don't hesitate to be on the lookout for these things that indicate what's going on. It's important to let authorities know if you have any indication that this is going on. I feel like these events will be foiled, but I'm not certain. I also feel like they will not benefit the Republicans because people will dislike the violence, or it has a feeling of a potential explosion. I mean, it could just be a dumpster fire or something like that, or something symbolic. But we must be very vigilant and aware. Again, it is what is being planned behind the scenes that is worrisome. Let's take a look at the voter suppression. Georgia comes up. Yes, there's going to be voter suppression in Georgia. There's a lot of arguments going on right now, and it depends a lot on honest Republicans, frankly, because there seem to be some Republicans who are saying, look, we can't, we're not going to go that far. Remember that Brad Raffensperger refused to change the election, so there are good Republicans out there. Don't generalize about people. We may disagree with others, but at least these people are honest. At least they are. They do believe in democracy. George, mm, maybe Tennessee, someplace in the South, Arizona, especially southern Arizona, is an issue. So I'm just going to say, will they be able to successfully suppress the vote? I'm getting it just has a feeling like some, but this much, not it's not a significant amount. Now remember that insignificant amount um gave George W. Bush the win. So it is significant and it's important, but our leaders are people on the left and right who want an honest government. Again, you've got to be very vigilant about this. I do have the feeling that the um, some people in the media have turned a corner. They will tell the story if people's votes are being suppressed. They are on notice. They understand that it's risky for them to keep going here. If Trump becomes president, he could really harm them. So people are taking this seriously in the media. And I should say the right people, people in power who are honest and true reflectors of the news. I see Trump sort of pulling some strings again in the East and West. It's a little bit like he tries in Pennsylvania, but doesn't have any success. Even in Wisconsin, doesn't have success. But as he's pulling these strings, mm, something interesting's happened. He shows up with his pockets out. It's like he doesn't have any money anymore. And without the money, he doesn't have the influence that he did. He spent all the money on the lawsuits, so there isn't the same money in it. It's also, if Trump loses, backing him will not benefit you, right? It will harm you because that's the way the American government works. So they're not as ready to back him financially. Yeah, the real problem for Trump will be that he's running out of cash. These people are starting to see him as a loser. Anything else on the suppression? It's like a marionette. Trump's like holding the marionette, but the strings are starting to break. He doesn't have the powers that he used to. People are starting to get the knowledge that he's gonna lose. Mm, yeah, and how will he manipulate the media? If you noticed, Elon Musk had just sort of declared Australia fascist because they won't allow fake news. news that's harmful to the society. Let me tell you, as an American living in Australia, this is the least fascist place on the planet. At least it's the least fascist in my opinion, my experience. There are some here who maybe are the original people who experience it differently. But as an American, I can tell you life is easy here. No one is telling you what to do or putting you in jail for your opinions. So Musk is trying to manipulate the media himself, and it's just like a mirror of Trump. His powers are somewhat being limited because people are starting to become aware of him. And it's a good thing that Australia did this because it's an example. We should not allow fake news. There should be some limit on what is said on X. So let's see. But Musk and company are really trying. They're putting out a lot of fake stuff. And they don't even need to create it. They just allow people to take fake stuff, like the whole refugees eating cats and dogs thing. But there's the good thing. People are starting to see that as ridiculous. They didn't see that 8 years ago, or they didn't care that it was ridiculous. People are starting to see it as a bit ridiculous. And people are starting to dislike Musk. There's a great advantage now in the fact that YouTube does allow people like me to say their opinions. So it's a lot harder to manipulate and create only one opinion because a lot of people can get on and contradict it. Seeing like somebody like lifting their arms and showing their power. And remember, this medium that we are using, it is powerful. We can all use it to persuade people. So it's not necessarily just about the elites anymore. We can use this and we can change people's minds too. Yeah, once we bring light to what Elon Musk is doing, and that's what we all need to do, the media, everybody needs to do, bring this light to this media, and things will change. Things will change if we see Musk for what he is. All right, so which states are going to be the toughest next election? So, so the first state I'm getting is Michigan, and I get a very close race in Michigan. Yeah, I'm not sure who the winner is, but it's going to be very close in Michigan. I think it's just barely going to go Democrat, but it's really, really, really close. Pennsylvania's going to be close. I'm having difficulty seeing the winner there because it's kind of like red and blue at the same time. It's very unclear. Arizona's going to be close, but it gives me the feeling of going blue. Florida is also close. Does give me the feeling of just barely going red. Texas seems closer than expected. I still get Kamala victorious Kamala. This is not going to be an easy battle. We are all going to have to participate. and we're all going to have to go out and vote. But in some sense, this is good. This is what we need to learn to create coalitions and to work towards something positive, as opposed to be mired in just a negative and hopeless. Even if things don't go perfectly well, we just have to be very dynamic and move forward. Just try the next thing, try the next thing, try the next thing, and also stay in our integrity. Even if it looks like some things are not particularly popular, some things are sacred, yeah, staying true to those who defended our government in January 6th, that has to be sacred. So even if it doesn't necessarily seem totally popular, there are some things we got to stick to, whereas there's some things we can be very dynamic about, create new solutions, always be speaking of solutions to problems, always be on the positive side. That is how the Democrats are going to win the election. And by that, I mean the Senate and House of Representatives and the presidency. Thanks so much for watching.